Harley Davidson isn't just having a rough quarter, it's in the middle of a full-blown slump. Motorcycle revenue dropped 60% in Q4 2024. Unit sales were down 53% from the same time in 2023. For all of 2024, global shipments fell 17%, totaling around 148,862 bikes. That's roughly 11,600 fewer than the previous year. North America, Harley's biggest market, saw sales drop 13% in Q4 alone. The first quarter of 2025 didn't improve things. Global motorcycle sales fell another 21%, including a 24% drop in the U.S. The company's 2025 guidance? Withdrawn. Management said it can't make predictions due to uncertain macroeconomic conditions and tariffs. Meanwhile, competitors like Triumph, BMW, and Honda continue to grow. Even Harley's electric sub-brand, Livewire, despite having some really cool features, is struggling. It sold only 33 electric motorcycles in Q1 2025. Revenue was down 42% year over year. Livewire's operating loss was $20 million that quarter, less than before, but still steep. Harley Davidson is not alone in facing industry headwinds, but the size of its drop, especially compared to rivals, makes clear that this isn't just a tough economy. It's a company in trouble. If Harley Davidson's sales figures weren't enough of a problem, things inside the company are just as chaotic. Jochen Zeitz, the company CEO, announced he would step down, but not fast enough for H Partners, Harley's second-largest investor. The firm owns 9% of shares and wants Zeitz gone immediately. It also launched a campaign to oust 3 longtime board members. That campaign didn't come out of nowhere. Jared Daredevil, the H Partners rep on Harley's board, resigned abruptly in April. In his letter, he accused the board of lack of transparency, poor leadership, and cultural depletion across the company. That includes rising tension with dealers and fallout from scrapping DI hiring quotas. Internally, Harley's leadership has struggled to balance investor expectations with real-world performance. The hardwire strategy, Zeitz's roadmap, emphasized premium models, limited production, and cost-cutting. But the result has been shrinking market share and rising frustration among Harley's traditional customer base. Dealers aren't happy either. Many pushed back when Harley launched an online used bike marketplace that bypassed them. Others were frustrated when promised support didn't materialize during the downturn. At the same time, Harley tried to spin small wins, like a 5% growth in touring segment share, to offset news of a 47% Q4 revenue drop. But investors aren't buying it. The company's stock is down nearly 50% from its 2023 high. Harley Davidson faces a mix of external pressures that would challenge any brand. But combined with internal issues, they're turning into existential threats. For one, tariffs are back. President Trump's proposed tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada could hit Harley hard. While the company did move some of its production to Thailand, it doesn't build bikes in Mexico or Canada, but components are sourced globally. Tariff costs for 2025 could reach up to $175 million. In Europe, Harley already faces a brutal 56% tax on U.S.-made motorcycles. That's helped sink its EU market share from 5% to just 2%. Second, interest rates are still high, and motorcycles are a luxury purchase. According to Harley's own data, more than half of current and potential customers are delaying purchases due to economic uncertainty. That's led to low sales, even after promotions and discounts, and forced Harley to cut shipments so dealers can clear backed-up inventory. Then there's pricing. Harley raised prices while knowing that consumers were tightening their spending. It backfired. Even with finance offers, affordability is now a major barrier. Harley's big, high-end bikes are out of reach for a new generation of riders. Yet instead of expanding its lineup of smaller, cheaper models, it leaned harder into expensive touring and trike segments. They dominated the list of Harley Davidson motorcycles announced for 2025. That decision might have made sense on paper, higher margins, fewer units. But in practice, it's left Harley vulnerable. With fewer young riders entering the fold and old-school loyalists aging out, the brand's future hinges on adapting. Right now, That doesn't seem to be happening. Harley Davidson is floundering. The company never really recovered after the Great Recession of 2008, repeatedly failing to attract new, younger buyers. And as the economy sours again, Harley still can't seem to get off the mat. It's getting harder to see how the company recovers from its death stall, a situation which Harley brought upon itself. Some of the points are obvious. Harley invested millions in marketing to create an in-your-face tough guy image that simply isn't connecting with younger riders. This decision was made years ago, aimed at attracting baby boomers who didn't see themselves as hippies. But it's left a lasting, dated impression of the brand in the minds of most Americans. But Harley is also a victim of the political environment it created. Unable to stave off foreign competition, All-American Harley once asked the Reagan administration to protect its market share with tariffs. The administration complied, which set a dangerous precedent for Harley as a politically protected American manufacturer. So when Europe imposed retaliatory tariffs on American goods in response to recent U.S. trade policy, they targeted 3 all-American categories: blue jeans, bourbon, and big motorcycles. Sales were already struggling in the U.S. They tanked in Europe. To dodge the tariffs, Harley tried to move some production to local markets, but that backfired when the company was lambasted by President Donald Trump and other politicians for outsourcing labor. Even Harley's most loyal customers saw the move as betraying the company's blue-collar American roots. New products like the electric Livewire show that the company is trying to adapt to a new world, but it may be too late to save the brand. Complicating matters, Harley recently burned up a lot of cash buying back its own shares, a move that certainly hasn't been a good investment so far. But even with more cash, it's hard to see where the company could go. Harley's core demographic is aging, and few new buyers are filling the gaps. Harley Davidson created a movement with its macho, brawny bikes, and now it's struggling to outgrow that image. Harley Davidson is screwed. Its sales have declined year over year. The company's traditional customers are aging out. New customers aren't being brought into the fold, at least not with new motorcycles. And Livewire, the brand's electric offshoot, will be studied in economy classes in the not-too-distant future as WTF were they thinking? The iconic motor company is barreling down a path toward inevitable doom. Yet, while the permanently online grifters and a host of mainstream media players will parrot the idea that this was all caused by the company's woke policies and its dalliance in DI, this is strictly a mess of Harley's own making. Folks, DI and being woke, whatever that means, isn't what caused Harley to falter as badly as it is. Not paying attention to the world around them and failing to adapt, that's what's did Harley in. The good old days for Harley weren't the swinging 60s or groovy 70s, the eras that most folks associate with the brand. Rather, the good times came during the late 80s and into the 90s. Boomers were flush with cash. Interest rates were non-existent. Home prices were essentially what a bagel and cream cheese now costs. And this generation had money to burn on non-essential frivolity. Basically the opposite today. And this generation idolized those folks who were adults in the 60s and 70s. As they were real, they did the things, they wore the leather, they rode across the country on their hogs. They invented. Hell yeah, brother. Boomers didn't get to experience that. So they decided to cosplay for lack of a better word. And Harley's executives, being the savvy business people they were, saw an opportunity to sell a fake lifestyle to dentists, soccer coaches, middle managers, and a whole host of others who wanted a weekend outlaw experience. It worked, too. Boomers bought Harley's offerings in droves. And with those sales, those same executives started increasing the prices of the company's offerings. First gradually, then getting up into the price of a very nice new car. Think $30,000 cruisers and baggers. This went on for years as sales continually went up and up and up. Harley could do no wrong, and boomers just kept buying new motorcycles. But then a whole host of generational changes happened. 2008 occurred. Housing prices went through the roof. College debt skyrocketed. Jobs left the country. Interest rates blasted off into the stratosphere. Wages stagnated. The cost of everyday items lost their minds as corporate greed fueled inflation. And millennials, the folks most affected by all these changes, became the dominant buying generation. It became pretty clear early on that this new generation didn't have a lot of discretionary income. Yet, in all its wisdom, Harley kept on steady as she goes. It kept attempting to sell $30,000 full-dress baggers, kept pumping out boomer-centric motorcycles, kept selling a lifestyle that only attracted an aging demographic, kept pushing forward with its hell or high-water cruisers, and didn't invest in anything that might attract a 20 to 30-something who still want a motorcycle but doesn't want a car-priced motorcycle that's trash to ride. Look at Harley's lineup right now. It's just the same style of bike over and over again, apart from the Pan America. But that bike is mostly forgotten by Harley's marketing department after its flashy debut. Harley Davidson's executives just couldn't get past the boomer cosplay. And we're now seeing that all play out as each successive year gets worse and worse for the motor company. And it wasn't because of progressive politics. DI wasn't even employed at Harley, not at any real effect. It was a single line in the corporate statements and was done to appease someone? No clue. But Harley didn't actually change any policies. And wokeness? Jesus. Folks, this is Harley we're talking about. The reason it's failing, as described above, is because it's catered so freaking hard toward an age group that hates the term. Look at Harley's website. It's just old white dudes. And if you ever turn up to a dealership, again, it's just old white dudes. And if you ever go to a rally, something like a Sturgis, it's old white dudes. It's all just old white dudes. There's not a woke bone in Harley's body. And that's what's killing the brand, because old white dudes only have so much money. Harley has been catering toward the exact same group of individuals since the late 70s. It's built an entire culture and business plan around this fake idea of American motorcycling that has to involve a cruiser, bagger, or some type of Sportster bar hopper. Every single one of Harley's bikes costs an arm, a leg, and your dignity. And because of it, Harley is seen as old, crusty, and representing a generation that's becoming more and more disconnected from reality. No one can afford that reality, whether it's financially or rhetorically. That, my dear friends, is a recipe for disaster. That's what's killing Harley Davidson. So, no, Harley isn't dying because of its DEI or wokeness. It's not dying because some F-tier internet troll called them out because of non-existent progressive policies. It's not dying because it's pushed manufacturing to Thailand or India or even outside of Wisconsin. Harley Davidson is dying because of the decisions it's made over the last 30 years. It's dying because it keeps catering toward a demographic that's become at odds with reality. It's dying because it sells $30,000 motorcycles that are constantly recalled. It's dying because it's failed to adapt. And as Charles Darwin once put it, adapt or die. Probably. You might not be aware that Harley Davidson's recent shutdown in York, Pennsylvania, has raised questions about the company's ability to maintain production amid supply chain challenges. With a significant impact on workers and production plans, the reasons behind this shutdown shed light on broader issues affecting the iconic motorcycle manufacturer. The implications of this pause reach beyond the factory floor, hinting at deeper complexities within Harley Davidson's operations and external factors influencing its future. Supply chain disruptions have greatly impacted Harley Davidson's production, leading to the shutdown of its York, Pennsylvania plant. The parts shortage that triggered this production halt marks the second time in a year that around 1,000 union workers have faced work stoppages. Harley Davidson hasn't disclosed a specific part causing the stoppage, but the repercussions are clear. Wholesale shipments and overall output are expected to suffer until production resumes on June 13th. This incident at the Pennsylvania plant highlights the fragility of global supply chains within the automotive industry. The reliance on just-in-time manufacturing and complex international networks means that even a minor disruption can have significant ripple effects. As a consumer, understanding these supply chain vulnerabilities can shed light on why certain products may become scarce or prices fluctuate unexpectedly. Harley Davidson's shutdown serves as a stark reminder of the interconnected nature of the modern economy and the importance of resilient supply chain management. Facing financial challenges, Harley Davidson made a decision to shut down production at its York, Pennsylvania plant due to a part shortage, affecting nearly 1,000 union workers. The specific parts causing the shutdown weren't disclosed by the company. This closure marks the second halt in over a year for Harley Davidson's Pennsylvania plant. Despite the shutdown, The company aims to resume production on June 13th, highlighting the financial challenges faced. The temporary halt in production has significant implications for both the company and its employees. With operations suspended, the financial strain on Harley Davidson and the affected workers intensifies. This scenario underscores the vulnerability of production processes to unforeseen disruptions, emphasizing the need for robust supply chain management strategies in the industry. As Harley Davidson navigates these challenges, the company's ability to swiftly address the parts shortage and resume operations will be pivotal in mitigating further financial setbacks and safeguarding its position in the market. Shift in consumer preferences and demand. Amidst Harley Davidson's production shutdown in Pennsylvania due to part shortage, a notable shift in consumer preferences towards retro-style motorcycles with demand for simpler, more affordable designs is becoming increasingly evident. This shift has seen a rise in wholesale shipments of related products as consumers seek out more classic and straightforward designs over expensive, tech-heavy bikes. The allure of adventure bikes and lower cc options has grown, suggesting a potential gap in Harley-Davidson's current product lineup. Enthusiasts are looking back at historical models and engine sizes, influencing their evolving tastes. The market trend towards retro aesthetics and classic designs signifies a desire for authenticity and simplicity, urging Harley-Davidson to explore this segment further. As production at its York facility halts temporarily, understanding and adapting to these changing consumer preferences will be vital for Harley-Davidson's future success in a motorcycle market shifting towards more traditional and affordable options. In the competitive motorcycle market, Harley-Davidson contends with brands like Triumph, maneuvering industry challenges shaped by factors such as production costs and evolving consumer preferences. Market dynamics play a vital role in shaping competition among motorcycle manufacturers. Here are some key points to take into account. Production costs. High production costs can impact a company's competitiveness, affecting pricing strategies and profit margins. Consumer preferences. Understanding and adapting to changing consumer preferences is essential for staying relevant in the market. Competition. Rivalry from brands like Triumph intensifies the competitive landscape, pushing companies to innovate and differentiate their offerings. Harley-Davidson's ability to navigate these market dynamics will determine its success in the face of tough competition. Adapting production processes, aligning with consumer trends, and outmaneuvering competitors are critical strategies for sustaining profitability in the ever-evolving motorcycle industry. The management's strategic decision to reduce production at Harley-Davidson reflects a calculated effort to enhance desirability and profitability for its motorcycles. By suspending production temporarily due to part shortages, Harley-Davidson aims to optimize its operations and improve the overall quality of its bikes. This move aligns with the CEO's vision of streamlining production processes and focusing on quality over quantity. Despite the shutdown's impact on nearly 1,000 union workers in New York, Pennsylvania plant, the company reported a notable 21% increase in revenue from motorcycles and related products in the first quarter of 2023. Lower production levels have actually resulted in increased profit margins, showcasing the effectiveness of these strategic decisions. This temporary halt may not heavily affect sales and could potentially boost the desirability of existing inventory. Harley-Davidson's emphasis on strategic decision-making in the face of challenges like part shortages demonstrates a commitment to long-term success and sustainability in the market. You may think Harley-Davidson's shutdown is just a blip on the radar, but it's a sign of deeper issues at play. Despite their profitability, supply chain disruptions and shifting consumer preferences are testing the company's resilience. As they navigate these challenges, the future of Harley-Davidson hangs in the balance. Will they rev up their engines and come back stronger, or will they be left in the dust by their competitors? Only time will tell. Things are getting worse for Harley-Davidson, the maker of motorcycles that your dad aspired to ride. They will be closing a plant in Kansas City, Missouri, the company disclosed today, while reporting fourth quarter profits that fell 82% compared to the fourth quarter of last year. They also announced they'll be making an electric motorcycle. So there's that, too. Harley made $8.3 million in the fourth quarter of 2017, compared with $47.18 million in the fourth quarter of 2016, according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. The company has been in decline for years now, as sales have sagged because consumers are worried about things like safety. In addition, baby boomers, who bought a very large amount of motorcycles back in the day and remain a big part of Harley's demographic, are also getting older. From the Journal Sentinel, Harley Davidson worldwide retail motorcycle sales fell 6.7% in 2017 compared to 2016. The company's U.S. sales fell 8.5% and international sales were down 3.9%. Harley has taken steps to counter what's been a prolonged downturn, including tightening motorcycle inventories. Our actions to address the current environment through disciplined supply and cost management position us well as we drive to achieve our long-term objectives to build the next generation of Harley-Davidson riders globally, Matt Levidick, President and CEO, said in a statement. We finished 2017 with over 32,000 more Harley-Davidson riders in the U.S. than 1 year ago, and we delivered another year of strong cash generation and cash returns to our shareholders, Levidick said. Harley says it plans to tighten its manufacturing operations through a multi-year initiative anchored by the consolidation of its motorcycle assembly operations in Kansas City, Missouri, into its plant in York, Pennsylvania. Around 800 people will lose their jobs because of the Kansas City plant's closure, while Harley will hire some 450 in York. The slow death of Harley has been a bit painful to watch, though the company is still trying. Also today, it said it would be bringing its first electric motorcycle to market within 18 months. I honestly can't imagine who the market is for an electric motorcycle. The main appeal of riding a motorcycle is feeling and hearing the engine, but at this point, Harley doesn't have much else to lose. Things are getting worse for Harley Davidson, the maker of motorcycles that your dad aspired to ride. They will be closing a plant in Kansas City, Missouri, the company disclosed today, while reporting fourth quarter profits that fell 82% compared to the fourth quarter of last year. They also announced they'll be making an electric motorcycle, so there's that, too. Harley made $8.3 million in the fourth quarter of 2017, compared with $47.18 million in the fourth quarter of 2016, according to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. The company has been in decline for years now, as sales have sagged because consumers are worried about things like safety. In addition, baby boomers, who bought a very large amount of motorcycles back in the day and remain a big part of Harley's demographic, are also getting older. From the Journal Sentinel, Harley Davidson worldwide retail motorcycle sales fell 6.7% in 2017 compared to 2016. The company's U.S. sales fell 8.5% and international sales were down 3.9%. Harley has taken steps to counter what's been a prolonged downturn, including tightening motorcycle inventories. Our actions to address the current environment, through disciplined supply and cost management, position us well as we drive to achieve our long-term objectives to build the next generation of Harley-Davidson riders globally, Matt Levidick, President and CEO, said in a statement. We finished 2017 with over 32,000 more Harley-Davidson riders in the U.S. than 1 year ago, and we delivered another year of strong cash generation and cash returns to our shareholders, Levidick said. Harley says it plans to tighten its manufacturing operations through a multi-year initiative anchored by the consolidation of its motorcycle assembly operations in Kansas City, Missouri, into its plant in York. Around 800 people will lose their jobs because of the Kansas City plant's closure, while Harley will hire some 450 in York. The slow death of Harley has been a bit painful to watch, though the company is still trying. Also today, it said it would be bringing its first electric motorcycle to market within 18 months. I honestly can't imagine who the market is for an electric motorcycle. The main appeal of riding a motorcycle is feeling and hearing the engine, but at this point, Harley doesn't have much else to lose. They've rallied behind a struggling motorcycle firm after seeing its dire financial results. Harley-Davidson riders were left reeling yesterday after it reported a fourth quarter loss of $117 million. This compared with a profit of $26 million 12 months earlier. Its total revenue for the quarter ending December 31st was $688 million, down 35% from the same period 2023. One of the bike maker's many fans, Robin Sasson, said the results showed that Harley-Davidson had absolutely tanked when looking at Q4 2024 versus Q4 2023. he told fellow riders on Facebook. Another way of looking at it is new bikes shipped in 2024 worldwide was 148,000, approximate, 15% down versus 2023, and every geographic region suffered. Sasson has suggested a range of measures Harley Davidson could take to improve its outlook and make a decent profit, turning into museum. He added, heritage and history doesn't pay the bills. It makes you a museum, not a company struggling to make a profit. I am a Harley Davidson brand lover, but what they're doing isn't working. In fact, Harley's strategy hasn't worked for a few years. I want to see them succeed. Time for change. Unfortunately, we as riders are stuck in the middle, with our love and passion to brand, what it represents, and the pure camaraderie of other Harley Davidson owners, Hoggies or not. Sasson suggested that Harley Davidson should firstly drop all of its emotional marketing. He added, it may have worked a decade ago, but not now. It's cringy to look at it. Consumers have moved on and understand global companies and their tricks to get us to spend money. He also urged it to launch smaller bikes, particularly for the Europe market, and a reasonably priced electric bike. Too expensive. Sasson said, I'd buy a Harley electric if they had wanted an affordable non-lunatic price. He also suggested that Harley Davidson should take better care of its legion of members. Sasson said, help your chapter network. Drop the HOG membership annual subscription, and hence a barrier to chapter entry. Personally, I see it as a tax, and so do most new riders. Support dealers. He added, create a dedicated distribution network for official HD parts, /oils, etc. Anyone that's bought a new Harley is going to want original stuff only. And the big one here, support your dealer network. They're your lifeblood, not your bikes, not your t-shirts, not your wallets or key rings. Dealerships support your existing base and bring in new business. This plea was in the wake of multiple Harley-Davidson dealer closures last year. Sasson got a thumbs up from many Harley riders, with one commenting, would agree it's time for a change in strategy before it's too late. Another said, some great points, not all I agree with, but the overall Harley-Davidson needs to change, totally on board with. Tell CO. One rider replied that Sasson's comments were spot on and asked him to please send his suggestions to Harley-Davidson CO Johan Zeitz, as he doesn't seem to have any grasp of how to run a successful business. In a competitive market, Harley-Davidson overprice everything, and riders vote with their feet by going elsewhere. And one rider suggested, selling bikes at prices people can afford would be a good starting point. Luxury toys. Another wrote, motorbikes are luxury toys, but the market is changing and Harley-Davidson are not. One person signaled their concern about the demise of dealers, saying, whatever the reason for the current pain, I can guarantee one thing, you'll never sell more bikes by closing dealerships. Who is going to buy a bike with no local backup or support? They were told by another Harley-Davidson fan. Same thing happened in South Africa. There used to be 12 dealerships, and now there are 4 owned by 2 people. Each HOG chapter had hundreds of members, but now most have less than 20, with so many forming their own riding group or associations. Meanwhile, there was criticism about the price of Harley-Davidson's new lineup for 2025.1 unimpressed person wrote. I'd say a lot of the damage is self-inflicted. The new touring bikes are overpriced, underdeveloped on the technology front, and ugly. It will take more than the annual change of paint job to change that. Indians are getting better looking and better kit out. Honda and BMW Tours are better spec'd and priced by far. The cruiser section for Harley is getting stale too, only the Street Bob standard looking like a classic Harley and a Heritage, but that's creeping up to $25K. They are going to be a posing tool for retirees. In fact, most photos of HOG chapters now look like a nursing home's day out in fancy dress. There's hardly any attraction to younger riders. The U.S. Sun has contacted Sasson for further comment and asked Harley-Davidson to respond to his suggestions. History of Harley-Davidson. Harley-Davidson, the iconic American motorcycle manufacturer, has a rich history that dates back to the early 20th century. Founded in 1903 by William S. Harley and the Davidson brothers, Arthur and Walter, the brand has been synonymous with freedom, rebellion, and the open road. Harley-Davidson motorcycles became the preferred ride for many, from casual riders to outlaw bikers and even the police. Over the years, Harley Davidson has faced numerous challenges, including fierce competition, changing consumer preferences, and economic downturns. Yet, it has always found a way to roar back to life. The brand's resilience is a testament to its enduring appeal and the loyalty of its hardcore fan base. Is Harley Davidson going out of business? The rumor about Harley Davidson going out of business has been a subject of much speculation. The brand has indeed been grappling with declining sales, especially in its home market. The U.S. younger generation seem to favor smaller, more environmentally friendly vehicles, leading to a significant decline in the demand for Harley's traditional heavyweight motorcycles. However, going out of business is a drastic step, and it's not one that Harley Davidson seems to be on the brink of taking. The company has been proactively addressing its challenges by diversifying its product range, exploring new markets, and investing in electric motorcycles. Who owns Harley Davidson? Harley Davidson is a publicly traded company, meaning it's owned by shareholders who own its common stock. The largest shareholders typically include institutional investors like mutual funds and pension funds. However, it's important to note that despite the business challenges, the company's ownership structure remains stable. Current status of Harley Davidson. Despite the rumors, Harley Davidson is not going out of business. Yes, the company has been facing some tough times, but it's also working on a turnaround strategy. The brand's hardwire strategy aims to focus on its most profitable segments and geographies, invest in electric motorcycles, and enhance its dealer network. Moreover, Harley has recently launched some exciting new models like the Pan America, its first adventure touring motorcycle, which has been well received in the market. So, while the road ahead is challenging, it seems like Harley Davidson is gearing up for another comeback. Financial condition of Harley Davidson. The primary driving force behind the rumors of Harley Davidson going out of business is the company's financial condition. Over the past few years, Harley has faced declining sales, especially in the U.S. market. This decline has been attributed to various factors, including an aging customer base, increasing competition, and changing consumer preferences. To combat these challenges, Harley Davidson has implemented restructuring plans, which include reducing expenses and focusing on core markets. These efforts have resulted in cost savings and increased efficiency, but the company still faces an uphill battle to regain its lost market share. While the financial condition of Harley Davidson is not ideal, it is not necessarily an indication that the company is going out of business. Alternatives of Harley Davidson. As Harley Davidson works to turn its financial situation around, consumers have a range of alternatives to choose from. Competing motorcycle brands like Indian, Triumph, and Ducati offer similar products and experiences to those of Harley Davidson. These manufacturers have capitalized on the changing preferences of motorcycle consumers, offering modern designs, advanced technology, and a variety of models catering to different segments of the market. Another alternative gaining popularity is the electric motorcycle segment. Brands such as Zero Motorcycles and Energica are leading the charge in this space, offering environmentally friendly motorcycles with impressive performance. While Harley Davidson has entered the electric motorcycle market with their Livewire model, they face stiff competition from these dedicated electric motorcycle manufacturers. Future plans of Harley Davidson. Despite facing challenges in the market, Harley Davidson has no intention of throwing in the towel. The company has introduced a new growth strategy called the Hardwire, which aims to reinvigorate the brand and expand its customer base. Key elements of this plan include enhancing their core product offerings by focusing on the most successful motorcycle models and investing in new technologies, expanding into high-potential international markets with a focus on Asia, especially China and India, diversifying their product portfolio to cater to a broader audience, including launching more electric motorcycles and middleweight models, strengthening their dealer network, and improving the overall customer experience. Conclusion. In conclusion, while Harley Davidson faces significant challenges in the market and has experienced financial difficulties, it is not accurate to say that the company is going out of business. The iconic motorcycle manufacturer is working hard to evolve and adapt to the changing landscape, and with their new growth strategy, they aim to regain their position as a market leader. It remains to be seen how successful these efforts will be, but one thing is for sure: Harley Davidson is not giving up without a fight. Is Harley Davidson going out of business? 2025 Insights Harley Davidson is not just a motorcycle brand. It's a legendary name that resonates with freedom, adventure, and a rich history. However, like many iconic companies, Harley Davidson has faced its share of challenges over the years. Understanding the financial health and future outlook of Harley Davidson is crucial not only for enthusiasts and investors, but also for anyone interested in the evolving business landscape of powerful brands. Let's explore the recent financial performance of Harley Davidson, the hurdles it has encountered, and its strategic plans for a brighter future. In 2024, Harley Davidson witnessed significant hurdles due to a high interest rate environment that posed challenges for many businesses. Higher interest rates can affect consumer purchasing behavior, especially for discretionary products like motorcycles, which are often seen as luxury items. As a result, global motorcycle shipments decreased by 17%, leading to a 15% decline in Harley Davidson Motorcycle Company, HDMC, revenue compared to the previous year. This decline emphasizes the importance of adapting to economic fluctuations while keeping the brand's core values intact. Despite these setbacks, Harley Davidson remained committed to understanding the financial landscape and offering motorcycles that reflect quality and innovation. The company continued to push boundaries by launching new models and adapting its strategies to ensure sustained success. Amidst the challenging environment in 2024, Harley Davidson found a silver lining in the U.S. touring segment. The launch of new models like the Street Glide and Road Glide touring motorcycles resulted in nearly a 5% increase in this segment. With a strong market share of 74.5% in the U.S. touring segment, Harley Davidson showcased its ability to stay relevant and competitive even in turbulent times. This success is a testament to the brand's enduring appeal and commitment to innovation. By consistently meeting the evolving needs of its market, Harley Davidson enjoys a loyal customer base that appreciates the blend of tradition and modernity that the company offers. Looking forward to 2025, Harley Davidson expects its HDMC revenue to remain flat or witness a slight decrease of up to 5%. Despite this cautious financial forecast, the company anticipates maintaining an operating income margin between 7% and 8%. These projections reflect the challenging economic conditions, but also demonstrate Harley Davidson's resilience and strategic planning. Harley Davidson Financial Services, HDFS, is expected to experience an operating income decline of 10% to 15%. However, Livewire, Harley Davidson's electric motorcycle division, is set to sell between 1,000 and 1,500 electric motorcycles, albeit with an expected operating loss of $70 to $80 million. These figures indicate Harley Davidson's dedication to diversifying its product offerings and its optimism about the future of electric motorcycles. Harley Davidson's strategic focus for the coming years is encapsulated in its hardwire strategy. This approach involves concentrating on robust motorcycle segments, expanding into promising markets, and establishing a leadership position in the electric motorcycle market through the Livewire brand. By sharply focusing on these areas, Harley Davidson aims to fortify its foundation and secure long-term relevance in a rapidly changing industry. The hardwire strategy emphasizes investing in new technologies and innovative designs to capture the spirit of motorcycling and bring it into the 21st century. Embracing electric motorcycles allows Harley Davidson to appeal to environmentally conscious customers while maintaining its legendary status in the world of traditional motorcycles. A commitment to long-term growth is evident in Harley Davidson's plans to invest significantly in its business. The company anticipates capital investments of $225 to $250 million in 2025. These planned investments highlight Harley Davidson's focus on fostering innovation, developing new products, and continuing to improve customer experience. Capital investments serve as a crucial element in driving forward the vision of a company. For Harley Davidson, this means not only nurturing its existing lineup of motorcycles, but also creating a diverse range of products that resonate with the next generation of riders. By investing in cutting-edge technology, Harley Davidson enhances its ability to stay competitive and relevant. While financial challenges have confronted Harley Davidson, such as high interest rates and shifts in consumer behavior, The company's rich heritage and strategic approach provide a solid foundation for enduring success. Harley Davidson's focus on key segments, commitment to innovation, and substantial investments signal its preparedness for overcoming obstacles and embracing emerging opportunities. The road ahead for Harley Davidson is one with potential promise and continued legacy building, where tradition meets innovation. You can read more about such strategic business insights here. As the company adapts to the new demands of the marketplace, the enduring spirit of Harley Davidson continues to roar forward. Harley Davidson is pulling out of India, the world's biggest motorcycle market. The iconic U.S. motorcycle brand is stopping manufacturing and massively scaling back its sales operations. Harley's decision comes weeks after Toyota said it wouldn't expand further in India due to the country's high tax regime. The exit is a blow for Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's efforts to lure or retain foreign manufacturers. Harley's departure involves $75 million, 59 million pounds, in restructuring costs, around 70 redundancies, and the closure of its ball plant in northern India. The plant was opened in 2011, but Harley Davidson has struggled to compete with local brand hero as well as Japan's Honda. About 17 million motorcycles and scooters are sold each year in India. Harley Davidson puts the brakes on electric bike. Trump backs Harley Davidson boycott. Harley Davidson sells for £42,000 at auction. More setbacks. While it is cheaper than many other developing economies, India has proven a tough market to crack for foreign automakers. General Motors pulled out of the country in 2017, while Ford agreed last year to move most of its assets into a joint venture with Indian vehicle giant Mahindra and Mahindra. U.S. President Donald Trump has previously complained about India's high taxes, specifically mentioning the levies placed on Harley-Davidson bikes. India's import tariffs were slashed by 50%, but the brand has still struggled in the competitive market. Harley has also been suffering its own problems and recorded its first quarterly loss in more than a decade between April and June this year. It has been cutting hundreds of jobs under its new chief executive Johan Zeitz and focusing on core markets and models. Harley couldn't play the game. Harley Davidson came into India with much fanfare a decade ago, but it has since struggled to find a foothold in one of the world's most lucrative two-wheeler markets. With sales averaging under 3,000 units every year, the iconic American brand simply couldn't capitalize on the big Asia opportunity it was betting on. Auto experts put the blame on the brand's failure to drive up volumes and derive cost efficiencies by leveraging local tie-ups. This, coupled with prohibitively high taxes, a slowdown in discretionary spending, and an inability to compete with Indian brands may have prompted the decision to call it quits. India is a high-volume, low-margin market. They weren't structured to play that game, being at the very pointy end of the pyramid. Horma Surabji, editor of Autocar India, told the BBC, "The lifestyle element that goes with owning a Harley bike is also not fully developed in India yet. Incidentally, the bike maker has had a better run in other Asian markets like Thailand and Korea, precisely because the market and cost structures are more favorable. Harley's exit may not have a significant economic impact, but is bad optics for the Modi government, which is preparing to roll out a $23 billion package to lure global manufacturers to set up base in India as part of the country's Make in India policy. High import tariffs on Harley have also been a flashpoint in India's trade negotiations with the U.S. Mr. Trump has previously cited the example of Harley to call India a tariff king, and its decision to exit the Indian market could well set off another diplomatic tussle with the U.S., with whom India is negotiating a free trade agreement. Harley history. The iconic U.S. motorcycle brand was founded in 1903 and has built a very loyal customer base. It has owners clubs all over the world. It hit the global stage in 1969 thanks to the classic road movie Easy Rider starring Dennis Hopper, Peter Fonda, and Jack Nicholson. Its bikes, nicknamed Hogs, are also made in factories in the U.S., Brazil, and Thailand. Harley has been looking to grow the brand beyond baby boomers in the U.S., with smaller models and all-electric versions. Riding into the unknown, is Harley-Davidson's future in jeopardy? As the iconic American motorcycle manufacturer, Harley-Davidson embarks on a new chapter. Uncertainties loom over its future trajectory. With shifting market dynamics, evolving consumer preferences, and the emergence of electric vehicles, the company faces a crossroads that could redefine its place in the industry. The forthcoming decisions made by Harley Davidson will not only determine its own fate, but could also have a substantial impact on the motorcycling landscape at large. In this article, we delve into the critical factors influencing Harley Davidson's outlook and analyze the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Join us as we explore whether this legendary brand will navigate through turbulence to emerge stronger, or if its very essence is jeopardized in the face of an ever-changing market. Harley Davidson, founded in 1903 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, has cemented its place in motorcycle history as an iconic American brand. The company's roots trace back to William S. Harley and Arthur Davidson, who designed their first motorcycle in a small shed. Over the years, Harley Davidson has become synonymous with the freedom of the open road and the allure of the biker lifestyle. Throughout its history, Harley Davidson has weathered challenges such as the Great Depression, World War II, and fierce competition from international manufacturers. The brand's enduring appeal can be attributed to its distinctive V-twin engines, unique design aesthetics, and strong brand loyalty among its customer base. Harley-Davidson motorcycles have been featured in countless movies, music videos, and pop culture references, further solidifying its place as an American cultural icon. As Harley-Davidson looks towards the future, the company continues to uphold its legacy while also exploring new opportunities for growth and innovation. Despite the challenges facing the motorcycle industry, Harley-Davidson remains a storied brand with a rich history that resonates with riders worldwide. Challenges faced by Harley-Davidson. Harley-Davidson is facing a myriad of challenges that have put its future in question. One of the primary issues the company is grappling with is its declining sales in the domestic market, particularly among younger consumers. The shifting preferences of millennials towards more affordable and eco-friendly transportation options have posed a significant challenge for the iconic motorcycle manufacturer. Moreover, Harley-Davidson's struggle to break into emerging markets like Asia and Africa has hindered its growth potential. The company's high prices and heavyweight bikes have made it difficult to compete with local brands in these regions. Additionally, the ongoing trade tensions and tariffs have further impacted Harley-Davidson's global sales and profitability, adding to the list of challenges it needs to overcome to secure its future in the industry. Impact of changing consumer preferences. Harley-Davidson faces a critical challenge as the landscape of consumer preferences continues to evolve rapidly. Traditional market segments once dominated by Harley's heavyweight and iconic motorcycles are now witnessing a shift towards lighter, more agile bikes favored by younger riders. This change in consumer preferences has prompted a decline in sales for Harley-Davidson, as the company struggles to appeal to a new generation of motorcyclists who value technology, sustainability, and versatility. Moreover, the growing emphasis on environmental sustainability has further exacerbated the impact on Harley-Davidson. With an increasing push toward electric and eco-friendly vehicles, Harley's reliance on traditional internal combustion engines is becoming a hindrance. Competitors offering electric motorcycles are gaining traction in the market, posing a significant threat to Harley's future viability. To navigate this changing landscape successfully, Harley-Davidson must adapt its product offerings to align with the evolving preferences of consumers, ensuring that innovation and sustainability are at the forefront of its strategy. Competition in the motorcycle industry. As Harley-Davidson navigates its way into the future, it faces stiff competition in the motorcycle industry. Traditional rivals such as Indian Motorcycle and Triumph continue to challenge Harley-Davidson's market dominance with their own unique offerings, appealing to a diverse range of riders. Additionally, the rise of electric motorcycle startups like Zero Motorcycles and Energica pose a new competitive threat by tapping into the growing demand for eco-friendly and sustainable transportation options. Moreover, the onslaught of international competitors from brands like Honda, Yamaha, and BMW further intensifies the competition landscape for Harley-Davidson. These global players bring innovation, advanced technology, and a strong foothold in emerging markets, presenting formidable challenges for Harley-Davidson to stay relevant and competitive. The motorcycle industry is evolving rapidly, with new players constantly entering the scene, making it essential for Harley-Davidson to innovate, adapt, and differentiate itself to maintain its position as a leader in the market. Innovation and new technologies at Harley-Davidson. Harley Davidson is embracing innovation and new technologies to stay ahead in competitive motorcycle industry. The company has been investing in research and development to introduce cutting-edge features and advancements in its motorcycles. One of the key focuses has been on developing electric bikes to cater to the growing demand for eco-friendly transportation options. Through collaborations with tech companies and strategic partnerships, Harley Davidson is integrating smart technologies into its bikes to enhance riders' experience and safety. Features such as connectivity options, adaptive cruise control, and advanced rider assist systems are being incorporated to attract a wider customer base and appeal to younger riders. By embracing innovation, Harley Davidson aims to not only retain its loyal customer base, but also attract new customers who seek modern and technologically advanced motorcycles. Strategies to revitalize the brand. To revitalize the Harley Davidson brand and secure its future, the company must focus on innovation and adaptation. One key strategy is to invest in research and development to create cutting-edge motorcycles that appeal to a wider demographic, including younger riders and international markets. By incorporating the latest technology and trends in their designs, Harley Davidson can attract new customers while retaining their loyal fan base. Another crucial aspect of revitalizing the brand is to enhance the overall customer experience. This can be achieved through improved customer service, streamlined purchasing processes, and creating vibrant community events and gatherings for Harley enthusiasts. Building a strong sense of belonging and camaraderie among riders can reignite passion for the brand and foster long-term loyalty. Additionally, Harley Davidson should focus on expanding its presence in emerging markets and exploring new sales channels, such as e-commerce platforms. By diversifying its distribution strategies and reaching a broader audience, the company can ensure sustained growth and relevance in the ever-evolving motorcycle industry. International market expansion. Harley Davidson's international market expansion plays a crucial role in determining the company's future success. As traditional markets reach saturation levels, the brand's growth potential lies in expanding its presence globally. By tapping into emerging markets in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, Harley Davidson can capitalize on the increasing demand for premium motorcycles. Entering new international markets presents both opportunities and challenges for Harley Davidson. Cultural differences, varying regulations, and economic conditions must be carefully navigated to ensure successful expansion. Building brand awareness and establishing a strong distribution network are key priorities in penetrating new markets and competing effectively against local and global motorcycle manufacturers. The international market expansion strategy is vital for Harley Davidson to sustain its position as a leading motorcycle manufacturer and drive future growth. By strategically targeting untapped markets and adapting to local preferences, the company can strengthen its global presence and solidify its brand reputation on a worldwide scale. The road ahead for Harley Davidson. Looking ahead, Harley Davidson faces a challenging road as it navigates through changing market dynamics and consumer preferences. The company must strategically innovate and adapt to the evolving landscape of the motorcycle industry to ensure its long-term success. Embracing electric vehicles and sustainable practices could be key for Harley Davidson to stay competitive and resonate with modern riders who value eco-friendly options. Building strong partnerships and expanding into emerging markets may also be crucial for Harley Davidson to grow its global presence and reach new audiences. Leveraging its iconic brand heritage while simultaneously embracing new technologies and trends will be essential for the company to remain relevant and appeal to a diverse range of customers. By staying agile, forward-thinking, and customer-centric, Harley Davidson can pave the way for a promising future in the ever-changing world of motorcycling. What challenges is Harley Davidson facing in the current market? Harley Davidson is facing challenges such as declining sales due to changing consumer preferences towards electric vehicles and modern designs. The company is also struggling with an aging customer base, as younger generations are not as interested in traditional heavyweight motorcycles. Additionally, increased competition from other motorcycle brands is putting pressure on Harley Davidson to innovate and differentiate its products to stay relevant in the market. How is Harley Davidson adapting to changing consumer preferences? Harley Davidson is adapting to changing consumer preferences by expanding its product lineup to include electric motorcycles, catering to environmentally conscious consumers. Additionally, the company is offering customization options to appeal to a wider range of individual tastes and preferences. By continuously innovating and diversifying its offerings, Harley Davidson remains relevant and competitive in the evolving marketplace. What impact have tariff disputes had on Harley Davidson's business? Harley Davidson has been negatively impacted by tariff disputes, as the company faced retaliatory tariffs from the European Union and other countries in response to the U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum. These tariffs led to increased costs for Harley Davidson, forcing them to shift some of their production overseas to avoid the higher import taxes. This decision sparked controversy and backlash from the U.S. government and some customers, affecting the company's sales and reputation. Despite these challenges, Harley Davidson continues to navigate the turbulent trade environment to protect its business interests and financial stability. Are there any new competitors threatening Harley Davidson's market position? Yes. Harley Davidson faces competition from new entrants in the motorcycle market, such as Indian Motorcycle, which offers premium bikes with a retro appeal similar to Harley Davidson. Electric motorcycle manufacturers like Zero Motorcycles also pose a threat as they cater to environmentally conscious consumers with their innovative technology and sleek designs. These competitors challenge Harley Davidson's traditional dominance in the industry and push the company to adapt to changing market trends and consumer preferences. What strategies is Harley Davidson implementing to secure its future in the industry? Harley Davidson is focusing on expanding its customer base by targeting younger riders through the introduction of electric motorcycles, such as the Livewire. This move aligns with a growing interest in sustainability and appeals to a new generation of riders. Additionally, the company is leveraging its strong brand loyalty by offering premium product and services, creating a unique customer experience that sets it apart from competitors. Through these strategies, Harley Davidson aims to secure its future in the industry and remain a leading player in the motorcycle market. The bottom line: to navigate the uncertain road ahead, Harley Davidson must embrace innovation and adapt to the changing landscape of the motorcycle industry. By leveraging their iconic brand, investing in electric technology, and expanding their reach to new markets, Harley Davidson has the potential to carve out a successful future for itself. While challenges loom on the horizon, the company's rich history, loyal customer base, and undeniable allure remain valuable assets that can propel them towards sustained growth and relevance in the evolving marketplace. With the right strategies and a resilient spirit, Harley Davidson can certainly steer through the unknown with confidence and emerge stronger than ever before.